Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome in to Friday Snaps, where we give you the best bets over the weekend. Ooh, Aaron, last night was fun, dude. Not only were we treated to some great football, but rings of power as well. Your boy is feeling good on this Friday. And guess what? I'm ready to make some more money. So check it out. Right now, we're going to give you our three best bets of the weekend. And then we're going to give you the four teams that we think will be in the playoffs by the time this is all said and done. Aaron Murray, Georgia quarterback, SEC legend. Give me your first best bet. Wow, that's really hard to say. Give me your
The
first best bet.
BB? Yeah, let me get
Yeah,
you
the
the BB.
BB.
All
Give me
right,
the BB.
my first one, and I know you ain't gonna like this one. I like Arkansas, 6.5 point favorite right
Okay.
now on
Wow.
FanDuel over Cincinnati. And to me, you look at Cincinnati, what they lost, six guys drafted on the defense side of the football. You lose Sauce Gardner, you lose Desmond Ritter on offense, you lose your best running back and your best receiver from last year. This isn't Alabama, this isn't Georgia, this isn't Oklahoma or Clemson. This is a group of five teams still. And I love Luke Fickle. He got a big spot right here in the heart. What he's done at Cincinnati is incredible, but they're not going to be able to reload like some of these Power Five teams that we see across the country. It's going to take a little bit of a time. They will still be a very good team, just not the team that we've seen for the past 3 years or 4 years that have gone 44-7. So I think right now, Arkansas, KJ Jefferson, Sam Pittman, excitement for this football team after they did well last year. They win this football game by 7 to 10 points. I like Arkansas at home. Once again, I just don't trust Cincinnati to reload. And it just ain't going to happen after losing all that talent to the NFL last year.
So look, I want to be clear, man. I've called the Hogs. Okay. Like I love Arkansas. I love this pick. Well, we'll see. My first best bet of the weekend, it's Utah minus 2.5 at Florida. Look, I got Utah winning the Pac-12. Okay, I got like I if this is I think Kyle Whittingham, like we said, Billy Napier is fine. I think he's going to be very good. Kyle Whittingham is a better coach. Utah is a better team at this point. They have a huge advantage at quarterback. I know they're on the road, so it's very tough to play. It's gonna be hot, but all you need is a field goal, right? And I really don't see Florida winning this game. I think Utah's job. Give me Utah minus 2.5 in the swamp on the road. First bet. Best bet. Aaron, number two.
Best bet. I am going to go to a little Troy. This might come out of left field for me.
What?
Troy,
Huh?
21.5 point dogs at Ole Miss. I love Lane. Similar spot like Sam Pittman, but the transfer portal, I don't believe in it yet. He hasn't named a starter. I think he knows, but like he's trying to be all secretive against Troy. It's Troy Lane. Just name a damn starter and let's go. Um, just too many things that have to be replaced. Too many questions have to be answered about this Ole Miss team before I start to feel really good about them. It's week one. They're playing Troy. Do they really care? They're just there just to work out some of the kinks, work out the timing. You look at the beginning of their schedule for Ole Miss. I just don't think they're extremely motivated. They know they have time to get things right. They really don't play a legitimate contender until October 1st. So I think they're viewing the next 4 weeks as, hey, this is our preseason. We're going to figure things out. We'll be ready to go come October 1st. And then our SEC season will really get going at that point. So I don't think they're super pumped to play Troy. Troy's returning most of their
Fair.
starters from last year on both sides of the football. This is Troy's opportunity to make a name for themselves. You know they're going to come out pretty hyped. 21.5 points is a lot of points for a team to that is literally building their entire roster or most of their roster back. So I like Troy that 21.5.
All right. Call this man Achilles. He's rolling with the men of Troy. My next on this list, South Carolina, minus 12.5. I know we talked about it in yesterday's snaps, but and look, Georgia State is good. I'm not saying Georgia State's not good, but I think South Carolina is sneaky good. They were already good without a quarterback last year. They now got Spencer Rattler, who, even if he's not like awesome, he's still a significant upgrade. The rest of the transfer portal class is very good. They're gonna be at home. The environment's gonna be fantastic. I've seen Sandman live. It is one of the top traditions, venues. It gets you fired up. Um, and I just think, dude, I just think there's a lot of belief out of the Gamecocks right now. The only concern I have is that they didn't choose Cock Commander. to replace Sir Purr or Big Spur, whatever it was.
It's going to bite him in the ass this season. 100% going to bite him in the ass. Yeah.
It will eventually. It will eventually, but not this day. So give me South Carolina to cover the 12.5. I think they're going to start rolling. Fan base gets into it. Offense starts rolling. Beamer's got the boys fired up. And I like Georgia State, solid team, but South Carolina's going to cover the 12.5. Yeah, easy money.
Well, you're gonna be happy with me on this one. My third and final pick is LSU. 3.5-point favorite right now versus Florida State. I know you want to give me a big fat kiss through the camera right here, and I will accept that. But I am drinking the juice. I have been a huge fan of Coach Kelly. He's got talent around him. They got receivers. They got a defensive line. I just don't believe in Florida State either. I know they got the kind of the kinks knocked out against a high school team last week. That must feel really good. You feel really good about yourself, Florida State, for being that high school football team. LSU in New Orleans, sold out crowd. Going to be a lot of yellow and purple and gold or whatever the hell you guys call yourselves. But I'm rolling with the Tigers on this one. I think they make a statement to the country that LSU is a team that you're just not going to roll through this year. And go Coach Kelly in his debut.
It is fair. It's yellow. It's not gold. And my golden number 3 best bet of the week, I'm right there with you. And I can't remember if Brum told us not to go home or not, but I need you all to understand, our wonderful listeners and everybody who's supporting Snaps here. I am never going to choose LSU for this segment probably again this year. Every other game is sketchy as hell. But like we talked about yesterday, Kelly, like Aaron just told you, significantly better than Norvell. That high school team you mentioned, Aaron, go look at the PFF grades for Florida State's O-line. 50, 60, 70. Their left tackle is the only one who finished in the 80s. And that Duquesne defensive line looked like they were about 180 pounds, okay? The front 7 of LSU has 3 all-SEC members. 2 of the captains of the team come from that front 7. No, actually, excuse me, all 3 do. B.J. Ojolari, Ali Gay, and Mike Jones Jr., who's someone to watch as maybe a bit of a breakout player this year. Again, this is not a homer pick. How could I not put this in my best bets when I just put more money on this than any single bet I ever have in my entire life? So there are your 3 best bets. Aaron, run through yours real quickly one more time.
So I got Arkansas, 6.5-point favorites over Cincinnati. Let's go, KJ. Troy, 21.5-point dogs at Ole Miss. And then LSU, 3.5-point favorite versus FSU on Sunday night primetime.
Okay, so I also have LSU covering it's up to 3.5 now. I got it 3. I got Utah covering 2.5, and I got South Carolina covering 12.5. I got all favorites for you. Aaron, if you were to sit here and pick your playoff teams, little college football futures here on this Gambling Friday, who are your 4 playoff teams?
I think most people would be silly not to put Georgia. Excuse me, not Georgia. I'll get my homer. I'll get my homer pick in a little bit. Woo! You want to talk about Homer coming out? Wow! It just rolls out the tongue so smoothly, T-Bob. No, I'm going to go with Alabama and Ohio State. Those are the 2 teams that you'd be silly not to put those.
I agree. I have those 2 in as well.
Yeah, they're the best teams in the country. There's no doubt about it. The more I look at Ohio State, the more I even think that I think there may actually be the best team in the country. My third team is Clemson. I think that defensive line, they're in the ACC still. It's DJU. If DJU could be a good quarterback, they were not a good team last year and won 10 games. That just tells you how much talent is on that team. They lost some of their players on the defensive side. To have a bad year and win 10 games, that's where Clemson's at. Now we just need that defense line to perform like we know they can. And if DJU just gets in just a little bit better, which he should in year 2, just gets better, now you're talking about a team that most likely is going to win the ACC. So I like Clemson for that 3 spot, and I'm going to double dip again like last year for the SEC. Give me Georgia in that 4 spot. I think Georgia right now is still one of the top teams in the country. They're going to show that all year long. I don't trust anyone else. Like I don't trust the Pac-12. The Big 12 right now, and you could talk about Baylor, you could talk about Oklahoma. I don't love either of those teams to be a contender. There's really just not, to me, there's not a lot of championship quality teams heading into the season. And maybe that's because I'm comparing everyone to Alabama and Ohio State.
Yeah.
But I think there's just such a huge drop off, and Georgia and Clemson are the only ones that actually have enough talent in my mind to compete with those two, or at least make it interesting.
So this is so sad, and this is why snaps will never make it. Because those are the four that I had, and those are also currently the four that sit atop the AP poll. Right. So, like, you could not have crafted or scripted a more boring segment than this one. But look, I'm going to give two dark horses here. I'm going to give two dark horses here.
There you go.
Okay. So I do think A&M's in the mix, dude. I know we got major questions. I know. But if they can regain the 2020 form, I do love their offensive line. I think Haynes, whatever, we need to talk about it. I think A&M is in the mix. The sneaky play here, and I hate myself for saying it, but I do think it's USC. And I got Utah winning the Pac-12. But if USC win, they have a very easy schedule. If they win their big games, of which they're probably talented enough to do, so the defense is shit, but the offense is going to be awesome, there's going to be a push to put USC in the playoff. You know what I'm saying? Like, they will have the kind of mind hive support. So if I'm looking at someone outside of the top four that could maybe jump up in there, and I hate doing this, I'm always I almost feel dirty. Yeah, man, I think it could be USC.
I think I'm trying to see when they play each other in the regular season. I mean, it all depends on Utah gets USC at home October 15th. I think that's the big decider. If USC does win that game, and I've hit my points about the portal, and I don't know if a team's ready in year one to succeed or not. But if they do, and they beat Utah on the road, you did say it. I mean, the rest of their schedule, it's not terrible. I think they do beat Notre Dame at the end of the year. If they're 11-1 and find a way to win the Pac-12, I think that's when all of a sudden you get into the exception. Okay, like, we need to put a Pac-12 team in there. Let's get USC. Let's get that brand going. So yeah, I still think that they're a 10-2, 9-3 team. So I think they miss out on that. A 10-2 Pac-12 team is not going to get it.
No,
they're not. You got to be 11-1. You got to be undefeated with obviously winning that conference. And to me, I look at all of them, and I'm not confident saying that a team out of that conference right now is going to go undefeated or at least go 11-1. Maybe Utah, if I had to pick someone to be Utah, but let's go to the Big 12. Like, Oklahoma, a lot of questions. I don't know. First year head coach. Baylor lost a lot on both sides of the football. So there's just not a lot of. Once again, there's not a lot of elite teams. So I'm not confident saying that I believe any of those guys are going to make it to the Final Four.
We'll know a lot more about USC after week 3. How do they do against Fresno State at home? A game that is friendly to them. They should win, but Fresno's a quality team. There it is. Your Friday best bets, as well as some futures. Remember, shout out FanDuel. Okay. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. When you do, promo code SNAPS. There is literally never been an easier promo code. Okay. Like, you're applauding for some well done spoken words, some poetry. Promo code SNAPS, FanDuel. Shout out to the volume. Shout out to you, Aaron. Shout out to you, our listeners. Like, subscribe to the pod, and we will see you Saturday night, late night Snaps edition, recapping all the action. See you there.